Yo, what's up? I'm Chico.
I'm Nyam.
And I'm Gathoni.
And this is
Okay.
PRC.
PRC.
Beep, 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 beep.
Me, 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 me.
Pew, pew.
I think if all else fails, we can just become DJs. Actually,
For
background vocal BGVs.
We can make their sounds. We can be the people who say, "Oh my God, it's DJ." We can be those guys.
DJ,
Yeah.
please don't stop the music. Where do they always have like a really suggestive babe in the mix?
I know. She's always like,
Too wild.
DJ.
I know.
I'm like, hey, is it necessary? Who
Really?
decided? Who
really,
decided?
please. We are just here for
How
the
is this an
music.
industry standard? Anyway.
Exactly.
Tell you.
It doesn't
Chico.
matter what matatu you're in, what anything. It is an
Yeah.
industry
Please, it's
standard.
not even only in the. It's not only matatus. It's like you're in the club, and then you just hear DJ. Insert name here on the ones and twos. Oh, that's my song. Ugh.
Even on those YouTube mixes, like just somewhere randomly.
Yeah,
It's always
that's
when
our
we're in the
career.
gym. We're always in the gym, and then you just hear it's the middle of a song, and when the DJ is talking, then you hear, "Oh, DJ," you're like, "Ew."
But I feel like
Anyway.
that's the better one is like, you know, that song that went viral because of that DJ talking on top of the track.
Which one?
I am so obsessed. You know.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I have to send it to you.
When you sing for
My baby, my
baby, my
Valentine.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Chico, how are you? How was your week?
Recap. My week was good. It was very
Recap.
exhausting because we were. What were we doing? Are you hearing the way I'm even yawning on the podcast? My girls had a performance on Friday, so that means that we had a lot of practice this week. We had 8 practices, meaning mornings, nights, morning, nights, morning, nights. Because it's basketball season, we don't have any court space to practice in the afternoons because obviously the basketball teams have practice. So we practice in some random hallway in the school, and then in our morning practices is when we can go to the court and figure out our spacing and everything. So the girls worked really hard. I'm so proud of them. The performance was fire. They killed it, slayed it, ate it up.
I saw you complaining about a 6:30 a.m. Nini.
Practice, yeah.
Practice, yeah.
I complain about them every single time I schedule them, but like, what am I going to do? There's no other option.
What can you do,
That's the
really?
only time we can get the court. You know,
Yeah.
you can't kick a
I
basketball
also saw
off their own court.
the TikTok. True.
But can't
Oh yeah, we made a TikTok. I made a TikTok with my girls. It was my TikTok
So
debut.
Hey, you look
for-
like a Beyonce.
I
Beyonce too?
look like a Beyonce. If you want to see the video, I think I put it in my teacher life highlights on my Instagram. They were like,
That's true.
Coach, you have to do it with us. And I was like, Lord, when did my life come to this? Although low-key, I was like, yeah, let's get it. But you have to act like you don't want it.
Low-key,
Anyways,
Yeah.
low-key, high-key.
Also, your knees like Megan. Can I borrow them for the next month?
Oh yes, I have
trying to
Megan
start-
knees, and I showed
I'm
my
trying- I'm
Megan
trying
knees
to
in the
get-
TikTok.
Yeah, I'm trying to start squatting heavy. I need knees like those. My
Yeah,
knees.
you got it. You've been squatting deeper than you've ever squatted.
That's
I
true.
was, and then I haven't been to the gym in a while. But lol.
It's called muscle memory. Your
Muscle
muscles
memory
will
indeed.
Gonna fuck with my
memorize.
skills.
Exactly.
Gonna have
Gathoni, how was your week?
skills. My week was interesting. Is this the week I was sick?
I think.
I think I was sick for like 2
Yes,
I think
it
my job
was.
is for 2 days.
Mm.
Because anyway, I had another cough over there. I'm sure you had it already. But yeah, it's been quite a dramatic time. I haven't been sick in so long. And also we closed the office. Hallelujah.
Fun
Will
times,
God
fun
do it?
times.
God is so good. So we're done for the year. Well, we're working virtually this coming week. And then we'll be back in the office in January though. But then it's that thing of, like now, because I don't have to like travel to the office, it's just knowing like I have like an extra 1 day, 2 day, or 1 hour. See me saying 1 day, 2 day, 1 hour, hour and a half of sleep, because I don't have to consider like transit time. It's
Yeah.
giving me such joy, because in the week that means like I'm getting like an extra 5 hours of sleep. Ideally 4, because we never used to go into the office on Friday. But like that extra 4 hours of sleep is just like, doesn't it feel like Christmas? Doesn't it feel like Christmas?
That's
I'm so
first of all,
excited.
that song is superior to other Christmas songs.
On behalf of Mariah,
100%.
I say it's time. You're fine. But other than Mariah,
Wait, I have a question. Gathoni, what's your favorite Christmas song?
ooh. That is the hardest question I've ever been asked in my life. Jesus.
Literally, that's Gathoni's favorite genre. Let's start there.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how to pick. I can't pick a favorite Christmas song. It depends. What is my mood? Where am I? I mean, I need more information to be able to do that. Oh my God, I'm so stressed.
Okay, so here. It is
Okay,
the
give me-
morning of your birthday. There's a lot of sunshine outside, but it's also Christmas season. What song are you playing?
Can I pick an album?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
So it's sunny outside. If I'm doing that, I'm picking not Merry Christmas. I'm picking Merry Christmas 2 of Mariah Carey, the full album, because just the songs on it. But if I have to pick one of her songs, traditional Christmas, it would be Hark the Herald, Mariah's version, very specifically with the choir. If it's old school Christmas, if it's like the a cappella ish, there's a Pentatonix. I'll Be Home for Christmas, I think is the song. Anyway, that
Wow.
vibes. But then also,
I forgot about
There is-
Pentatonics.
there is, what's the Chris Brown one? Is it Chris Brown?
Hanging
There's an a
on the
cappella version.
mistletoe.
Yes. there's
Yeah,
some
and
a
this
cappella
Christmas.
version of Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Yes, who is it who did the a cappella version? Those men. God bless them. Hallelujah.
I've
May
never
they
heard.
have wealth.
That song
never heard
belongs
the
to Chris
a
Brown. There's
cappella
someone
one.
else who did it.
Yes, and they did an a cappella
Even
version.
PJ
that
Morton
sounds
has done
like
a really good version.
PJ's version is also really good, but there's an a cappella version with just 5 men that sound like, when Boys to Men used to be Boys to Men, and that guy used to come, that guy. Oh my God. Praise them.
I hate
And
that I
then-
know what you're
do again?
meaning.
Thanks.
Have you say
And
again?
then,
How was he doing? Abu, remind us.
We belong together. And it's
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
come back, come back, come back. Oh, that guy, just before the song does although we've caught that guy. Or in Uncle Sam's, it was
Okay.
what's the one that he was like, you've always loved me? Before I received a letter, it's just like, I just want to. It's you had to speak so that it gives us.
I love how he says the same thing in every song, according to Gathoni.
Yeah. According to Gathoni,
It's the
it's like
voice.
she's
I just
speaking in
wanna-
tongues and she's just on the same thing. I just wanna. I just wanna.
It's because it's because they used to talk so low you couldn't hear anything. Just be okay. Let me see what they start.
I just wanna.
No.
Yeah, Gathoni would just hear the I just wanna.
It's baby girl.
Wow. I'm done.
Anyway, I know you understand what I'm saying. But traditional Christmas, Mariah Carey's Hack the Herald is superior to anybody's anything. Okay? That song is magnificent. Oh, it's so good.
Wow.
Anyway, That was the hardest thing. I have so many.
Nyam, what's your favorite Christmas
Santa
one
Baby
then?
is also really good.
I feel like it's this Christmas. I just feel like it's very funky.
A particular version or just the song in general?
I like the song in general. I don't know that I've ever listened to a version I hated, honestly, which tells me I like the song. But I also like Mariah's albums. So the albums I have on replay are like Mariah's Merry Christmas 1 and 2, Michael Bublé, and PJ Morton. Those are the ones like I can listen from start to finish each time with no stress. I used to have the the Kenyan Christmas one. I used to have the CD, but now I don't know where it can be found.
Oh,
And I
love
really,
that
I
one.
wish
really
they
loved
put it on
a Kenyan
Spotify.
Christmas.
You can play it on. You can find
Right?
it on. Where did I find it?
YouTube.
Mudundo had it. I found it last year. Mudundo.
That's where I'm going to
That
be.
album was
if you check
so
online.
good.
It's such an excellent album.
That one in that
so
album,
that's
Away in a
another
Manger
fave.
was a magnificent song.
Correct.
Away in a Manger,
Hey.
even like Noel, the first Noel.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, all
That
of
whole
them.
album was
Straight
fire.
fire. Yeah.
But Away in a Manger, because the harmonies that guy did, I think I like that thing. He has that bass for those guys. Anyway, Chico's your favorite Christmas song?
Hey, my favorite Christmas song is non-existent. However, no. I think honestly,
What a bitch.
my favorite
What a Grinch.
Christmas song I would say is "Oh Holy Night." There's just something about that song that's just so beautiful. The way it's
Mariah's
written, it just makes me feel really. It makes me feel things. Selena Gomez. What's the other one called? The other
Ariana.
No, Celine Dion.
Oh my god. I said same age.
Nyam caught the connection.
Myself,
it.
I was
I'm
not
here with
Celine, same thing.
I said Selena Gomez.
Celine Dion's version of "Oh Holy Night" is so good.
Yeah, it's also so beautiful.
It's so
yeah.
good.
Oh,
But
I've never
my
had
favorite
it. I'll look
album.
for it.
Oh, you have to listen to it. It's so in the background music and everything. It's just one of those tear the house down.
I like Mariah's.
kind of Nini. I haven't had Mariah's. Imagine.
Oh my god, please do it immediately.
Yeah, but my favorite
Because she does it with
albums
her
would
choice.
be.
Mm.
My favorite albums would be the Michael Bublé one, the one for "It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas."
Yeah.
I love that album.
Yeah.
I can listen to it from beginning
So
to end
do I.
also. And also the Ariana Grande one with like the Santa Tell
I didn't know
Me
she has a
and,
Christmas
she
album.
has like mistletoe under the mistletoe. Is it called Under the Mistletoe or something?
It's called mistletoe. I see what you're
Mistletoe.
saying. That
Come
song
and
is
kiss
also
me,
good.
baby. We don't need no mistletoe. I love that song. Yeah. So Ariana Grande's album is also fire.
My suggestion
There's
is
also
listen to
one
both of
Christmas
Pentatonics
song.
Also, those songs are fire.
Yeah, but Pentatonics, I think for me is a little washed out. There was a season, maybe 5
Damn.
years, where Pentatonics was just owning Christmas. You know what I mean?
The only reason I
think
like them is
true.
because they have the old guy. I still am obsessed with the old bass guy. Nothing
Yeah,
against
the
new
old
one,
bass. Yeah,
but the old guy, Avi Kaplan, that guy knew his. Oh my god,
he did.
What a
He
fella.
did. Yeah, I think I've just listened to the Pentatonics ones way too much that now I'm just kind of like, whatever. But then some of those albums just are classics and you can go back to them over and over.
Yeah,
True.
so good. Nyam, how was your week?
Whoa, what a digression.
Surprise!
Yeah, my week was good. It was a bit hectic in the beginning of the week. I think I had mentioned last episode we were doing student review. Wow.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
Manjiko, are you okay?
Hey.
Shori, what's happening?
Anyway, that's because we were laughing at Gathoni
I'm
coughing last week. Sorry.
If my God is fine, it says in
I just
Psalms,
swallowed my
He
matter
will
the
prepare
wrong
a
way.
table before your enemies.
First and foremost, I was literally just having this conversation today about how when you're older, you can literally just be minding your business and suddenly choke almost to death on your own matter. Like I've been
Literally.
sitting sometimes and just been like, wow, is that my life flashing before me? Like out of nowhere. It's like my throat just decided then know how to swallow. Wow. Anyway.
That's
I
what
can
she
That
hear
and my
you,
legs.
Gathoni.
Sometimes I feel like my legs just literally just buckle and give up, and I'm like, I am one step away from a broken leg.
True. Well, anyway, so
Wow.
student assignment support was heavy. Gathoni, please don't. Student assignment support was
I
heavy
don't
in the
what?
beginning
That's
of
what
the
she
week,
said.
so it was hectic. Yeah, I knew you were going to. That's what she said, huh?
No, I left. When her legs buckled, I said it's okay. Because your throat, I had already, she said about her throat. So I knew it was already top of mind. I didn't need to say it again. Thank you. But now that you have brought us
Anyway,
here, it is what she said for sure.
well, yeah, but I had a good week. Spent some time with my friends and their babies. I love being a tata. Yeah, so it was fun. So am I to spin the wheel? You ready?
Spin it.
Go ahead.
Spin it. Is there a Christmas version of spin in the season? I'll find one for the last episode. Gonna have to be like, the mistletoe is spinning in the wind.
I've refused you.
You
Please.
refused?
I don't know what is happening. Dururu,
Okay,
dururu,
so
dururu, dururu,
let it spin. It's spinning, but it's spinning silently. I guess it has chosen. Wow. In my sights again.
Silent
well, not again.
night. Holy
In
night.
my sights. Hey.
So
Whoa,
in my sights is the closing of school. I am
Hallelujah.
over it, I'm sick of it, I'm tired. So I'm ready for vacation.
Got you.
I have 2 more weeks of school until break, and me and Christian have planned zero, neither, nothing for our Christmas break. Like, it's been too much of a hectic year. We're just going to sit in our house for Christmas, and maybe we'll go for
That
dinner.
makes sense.
I think we're gonna probably go. We talked about going to like a Brazilian steakhouse for like dinner, to do like the inaitwa churrascaria. I don't even know what it's called.
What are you saying? That's the only
Why
kind
did
of
it
thing.
sound like you are speaking
That's
Kikuyu?
what it's called.
Churrascaria.
It sounded like we are going to Churrascaria. You know, it sounds like a town in Nyeri, man.
We're gonna go to the churrascaria for Christmas.
That's such a Kikuyu. Is there going to be a one-man guitar?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
All right.
Me,
Kadash,
in my head, I
what's
think
in your
we're gonna
sights?
catch a flight because venye unakaanga. In my sights is oh my god, you guys. Next week on Monday is the most important day of my whole year. It's so great. I, in my excellence as a Sagittarius child, I'm turning 35. Oh my god.
Wow.
On the 12th
What
of
an age.
December. And it's gonna be my 5th anniversary with my child because I met him on my 30th birthday. Oh my god, such big things. I'm so excited. I'm just like tingling in my toes. Let me tell you, I did my birthday. Ask me what I'm doing, I don't know. But for I tell you, gonna be memorable because I am Nene, it's my holiday. I deserve it. I'm so great. So I gonna celebrate.
You are.
Gang.
Good for you.
So in my sights is myself. Because
Gathoni's birthday is on Jamhuri Day, so wish her happy birthday on Jamhuri Day.
Yeah, on 12th December, I'll be accepting M-Pesa in 35, so $3,500, $35, 35 shillings, whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, yeah, 35 cents. I don't care. Just send 35. M-Pesa is open. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Woo!
That's actually such a good idea. I'm
Excellent.
going to tell people that for my birthday.
Yeah, but
It actually
I really
happened
don't
for me
35
this year.
cents. Let's just do like $35.
Did it? That's cool.
Yeah.
What was it?
Someone
40?
sent me. Excuse me. What a Hera beach.
Bitch said.
No, it was not 40, but I got a version of 37. But I was like, by 38, it's now gonna be like 38,000. By like 40, it's gonna have to be 40 million if you're sending me money.
Wow, what a time. Okay. If you're
What a time
I'm
to
saying
be alive.
35.
Excuse me, Cornelius, you do not talk like that around here. Excuse me, go home. Bye.
Wow.
Go. Get out.
Hi, Cornelius.
If you're going to talk to me like that, you have to leave my room.
Wow. She asked like an African mother would. Who you talking
She
to like
said,
that? I brought you
"Get
in this
out."
world. I can take you out.
You better not
said,
speak
boy.
with that chest. Take that bass out of your chest.
Exactly.
Who are you talking
Take
to?
that tone
What's your
somewhere
tone?
else. Who do you think you're talking to?
Wow. Cornelius. Has he come to lick you?
Whoa,
Because
okay.
he said. Anyway,
He's just staring at me like, sorry, mom.
that's a good boy. Nyam, what is in your sights? Apart from my
Well,
birthday?
for me, I am looking forward to a getaway for Christmas. I'm actually really excited. Wow.
Just keep going.
It's I haven't been to the coast. I was gonna say in a while, but yeah, it's a little over a year. I went from like not going to the
yeah,
coast for like 13
You
years
went last year, you're right.
to going at least once every year. So I'm really looking forward to that. Just some like downtime. Things have already started kind of
13
tapering
years.
down in terms of, I hadn't gone to like Mombasa or general South Coast, North Coast, like for 13 years.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
even longer than
the last time she
13
went
years.
was in camp. It was longer.
Yeah, I had gone for camp. It's longer than 13 years. The last time I had gone before 2018, I think was Shimba Hills camp. And Shimba Hills, to be honest, doesn't even count as being in the coast, honestly. Kusema tu kweli. But yeah, that was, I went from...
To you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm a girl.
God, Gathoni. Nonsense. Actually, on that note, maybe we should get into the episode.
Lord.
Yeah.
There is no trigger warning this week. Yeah, good.
Enjoy.
Happening with my neighbor's car. I'm sorry. It's so loud. Anyway, but yeah, no trigger warning this week.
No trigger warning. So we hope you enjoy this episode.
For sure.
Today, what we're going to be talking about is, I'm calling it imposter syndrome, but we're going to put it in the book that I had talked about a few weeks ago. That is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And he basically breaks down, this book is heavy, so we can't cover a lot of the book in like one episode. It feels like it would be a series. But I was interested to hear what you guys thought about his thoughts. Because his idea is this: he introduces this thing called upper limit problems, which in his theory is that everyone has a certain level of happiness or success that they can accept before they feel like they're unworthy. And the second they get to that level, they start self-sabotaging, not necessarily planning it, but they start to do things in their life that would cause there to be like strife, right? So the description is, when you're attain higher levels of success, you often create personal dramas in your life that cloud your world with unhappiness and prevent you from enjoying your enhanced success. So ideally, it's this thing of, how everyone always tells you, I've had great 2 weeks, something bad is about to happen, right? So the theory is something bad doesn't have to happen, but it's our brains that like when we are, because they're wired to protect us. When everything is going well, it's like something bad is about to happen. I need to like live in the chaos that I understand. So in whatever sense, like maybe your business starts doing well, and then now you start causing chaos in your house with your husband, but there needs to be chaos somewhere, basically. So that is what we're gonna be talking about, and I will specifically, okay, go through the barriers that he explains. Um, he says there are 4 barriers that normally would determine what your upper limit problem is or what trigger your upper limit problem. So the second you trigger this barrier, then your body goes, oh my God, must revert, must go back, must like go back to like I don't deserve this, I can't be doing this. Yeah. So like I mentioned, there are 4 barriers. I'll read out the barrier, and then because you guys have read the book, I just want you guys to let me know if you thought like which one you thought you were. I'll read one and then you're like, facts or nah or whatever.
Okay.
Nah, I mean,
We got you, babe.
Got you.
thanks so very much. So, hidden barrier number 1 is feeling fundamentally flawed. So, it is I cannot expand to my full creative genius because something is fundamentally wrong with me. You feel like there's something bad, wrong, or flawed about you. You find yourself grappling with that issue and you break through to greater love and financial abundance. And then a voice admonishes you from deep within and it's like, you shouldn't be this happy because you're flawed. So basically, you believe that you're undeserving. You believe that you can't be successful. And like I mentioned, it's not something that you consciously think about. It's innately like just part of who you are as a being. So the idea is to figure out your barriers, because then if you know what your barrier is, you can then better recognize it when something happens, right? So, like I said, the first one is feeling fundamentally flawed. So, for example, given that I am fundamentally flawed or wrong or bad, how can I possibly be this happy, rich, and creative? Did you guys feel like, for any way, sense, or form, this is one of the barriers that you guys experience? Like, do you feel fundamentally flawed?
No.
Serious words. Chico is like, no, next.
No, I did not feel fundamentally flawed because I know I have flaws. However, I work really hard to make sure that those are not barriers in whatever I do. So I feel like I've consciously made an effort to make sure that I don't feel like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't feel like that one was really targeted, or like I didn't relate much to that one. Yeah.
So first, also, the thing I found interesting is he was talking about barriers being based on fears or false beliefs that you develop early in life, which
Yeah.
I thought was like so similar to what we were talking about, like in
I
terms of
wrote that
attachment
down.
styles, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. So,
It's so crazy that everything that happens in your life is like 0 to 18 months.
right? This is why it's so
It's so annoying.
crucial for like people who are having children to understand this kind of thing before,
Yes.
you know.
I just
anyway.
broke my toenail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, so this feeling fundamentally flawed. Again, you know me, I have issues with how it sounds because I don't want to feel like I'm fundamentally flawed. But there's some ways that he explained it in which I was like, I can see how I have part of this barrier. Now, I don't think it would show up so much in love or creativity, but I think professionally, because he was talking about like how this barrier brings with it like a fear of failure. Yeah. So then you start to feel like even if you express your genius, it might not be good enough, but it's because you've put a standard of genius that maybe is also not attainable. So this idea of if you play it safe, if you stay small, then you will fail small. I felt like I could identify identify with that. So it's not so much in the feeling that I am flawed, but sometimes that fear of failure can get me like in my overthinking space. Now, I think I've broken this barrier in some ways. Like I think about like the baking business. I think I wasn't afraid to fail. You know, sometimes I'm just like, Sawa, let's do it.
Let's go.
Cookie bite, kume bite. You know, if it fails, it
Yeah.
fails. But I'm gonna throw everything at it, or that kind of situation. However, I feel like sometimes, especially with my consulting work, I still have some work to do in that, you know, to just like aim for, because I am smart, I know my stuff. So it's that not playing it safe or not playing it small, because then, you know, the risks are lower. So that's the part I felt like I identified with in his description of the barrier of, you know, feeling fundamentally flawed. So it's not that I feel flawed, but sometimes I'm in my head a lot, with that fear of failure, of what if it doesn't work, you know?
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
so that's what I thought.
I feel that way, I
Now,
think,
Ewe?
for my creativity, because it's that thing of, if I express it in a big way, would it be good enough? You know? So that's why you'll find like I have videos, pon videos that are unedited, just sitting, because I'm just like, okay, the second they're taken out and become public, like I think they're good enough, but if everyone else doesn't believe that they are, then I will fail, and then very publicly, and then it's very, you know, like embarrassing. And that I feel like is dumb, but you know that where you're like, I know what I'm doing, and I know that it's wrong, and I can tell that I'm limiting myself. Then this is where I was like, it's falls into imposter syndrome, where it's like, I know I can do it, but I don't
Hold
feel like
on.
I'm worthy enough.
But do you feel like you're scared of failure or scared of failing publicly?
It's the fear
Yeah,
of failure.
question.
It's not the fear of failing publicly, it's the fear of failure. It's the fact that what I think, or in my head I have drawn this thing to be, it will never grow to become that thing. And so I will have failed in something that I feel is fundamentally a part of who I am and a part of what I think I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it would feel like not a failure of the thing, it would feel like a failure of me, basically. So it's not that I genuinely don't care what the other people would think. It's that for me, I wouldn't feel like this thing was the wrong thing. I'd feel like I was wrong and I
I feel
did
that.
badly and I failed.
That makes sense.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Interesting.
That makes sense, actually, based on what he was discussing before. I think before he gets to the barriers, where he's talking about the different zones that you can operate in. So, you know,
Yeah.
there's like the zone of incompetence. So this is the thing
Mm-hmm.
you really don't know how to do. You have your zone of competence, where it can be done, but others can do it as well. And then there's like the
The
zone
zone
of
of excellence.
excellence,
Yeah.
and then the zone of genius. So I think like for you, maybe your creativity falls in your maybe zone of genius, and so that's why you're even more, you know, sensitive about the failure there,
Yeah.
Ama.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It falls in my zone of genius, not my zone of excellence. I know I can do it well, but I also know if I did it and it did well enough, you know how he explains in the zone of genius, it stops being, it's that thing where everyone tells you when you find your passion, it will stop being work, you know? And based on how he
Yeah.
explained it, even it's that thing of, for him, even what he does now, it's something he was told as a child he was really good at doing. And it's tapping to something that's innately you. And that's what carries you into your zone of genius. And it's that because I feel like it's innately me. If I fail at it, it'll feel like a personal failure. It won't feel like a failure at the thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Interesting. Okay.
So hidden barrier number 2. Okay. He titles it Disloyalty and Abandonment. I cannot expand to my full success because it would cause me to end up all alone, be disloyal to my roots, and leave behind people from my past. So basically, it's this thing where when you become successful, you feel guilty, and you feel like you need to take everyone with you, and if you can't take everyone with you, then you don't deserve the success that you would be getting, basically. So you feel disloyal to the people who are like in your space now. So like for us, for example, as sisters, if like I was suddenly to pop off, and then it's just like, oh no, but can I take my sisters with me? If I can't take them with me, is it fair? Like, how do I work around that? So that's what disloyalty and abandonment is
Are
about.
you afraid of leaving us? Are you planning to start your own podcast and leaving us in the lurch?
Immediately, listen.
Wow.
Not only am I starting my own podcast, I'm starting a podcast network. Also, after that, I'm going to start a channel.
In
And
other
then
words, you're
after
breaking
that,
the internet.
I'm going
Do
to
it.
be, call me Lily Singh. Call me Faiza Kush. No,
Oh
but I
my
don't think
god.
that, I don't worry about leaving you people behind. Also because I don't feel like that's the kind of relationship we have. I don't feel
Yeah,
I don't feel like any of us would guilt the other for success.
I
true.
I
know,
feel
but
like you
that's the
would be
difference with
the
what.
cheerleaders.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's where like the fear comes in, because I know I don't necessarily think it's about like the people around you, because I have no doubt in my mind that if I get success, you guys will be my cheerleaders or vice versa.
Well,
You know what I mean?
thank you.
However, the person going through it, I feel, as personally for me, I know I would definitely feel some guilt, and I would try and see how I can bring my, at least you two, in with me, and so we can all win.
100%.
Even though I know me
100%.
winning is us winning,
I
I
get that.
want to, I don't know, give a piece of the pie.
Win, 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 win.
Hey,
Everything else. Win, 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 win.
I like that you muted
I swear
yourself so that we have
sometimes,
video of what you're doing.
Nyam like brings out some hip hop songs that I did not expect her to know. Like I'm like, who the hell is she?
Don't be sleeping on me. They didn't believe
Wow.
in us, but God did, man. Kwenda.
You're mad.
Sawa
Anyway.
Khalid, sawa Khalid. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it. This I think was the one that I didn't feel I related to too much. In fact, maybe at all. Because I don't.
Nyam said,
I
fuck y'all
don't
bitches,
think
I'm winning myself.
And I'm not taking you with me.
you either win with us or you watch us win. Hiya.
Period.
So I think the thing about it too is I think this fear kind of becomes, or this barrier is more emphasized if there was like an unspoken rule on, you know, like how things should go. Like you should always be with your sisters, or, you know, and there's a bit of that in like African culture where it's like you can't go for a sleepover if your sister is not coming along as well, or if you're going for a movie
Yeah.
with your friends, you have to go with your person as well. So those are maybe some of the things that can instigate this kind of barrier. But I don't really feel like success ends up breaking that unspoken rule. I don't think it's in matter success. Maybe it's like, I mean, like if I got an opportunity to go and work in a different country, I would go. I would feel sad about like not being able to hang out with Gathoni as much as I do now. But why are
I
you
needed to be
gasping?
dramatic. Because you're planning on leaving me, bitch.
See, clearly she's really trying to put this disloyalty and abandonment barrier on me. But sure, no. So I feel like if it means that I'm thriving, I would not be concerned. That I think you would even be upset if you thought that I was considering your feelings about how what this means for you in the larger scheme of things. So I think in that sense, I was like, I cannot relate to this one.
That's fair.
I understand that, but I feel like a lot of people listening would relate to it because, like I was saying, I think it's our circumstance that makes it easier. But it's that thing of when you're the firstborn, you've done really well. You have a brother or sister in Shanks or up country. You have to pay school fees for their children. And then now it becomes a
True.
thing of like, should my children go to a fancy private school when my sister's child is going to go to a public school, but I'm still the one paying? Like
Yeah.
that guilt of, yes, I worked hard for my children and my child deserves to be in such name here, WNS, Brookhouse, Braeside, whatever. But it's the people making you feel some type of way because why are you paying for your child to be in that school when you're paying for my child to be in a public school? Why can't you limit your children or like put them all at the same level? You know what I mean? And I feel like
Wow.
that in culture becomes a bigger thing. So I feel like a lot of our listeners would relate to that one because, like, for us guys, the thing is, you don't have like, there's no kids. I mean, I can pay daycare for Kina Corny, no problem.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
I'll send you my
no
next bill.
sure,
Clearly.
sure, no problem. I got PayPal. But like,
Manza, you should
it's
even
that
give us the number of their dog sitter. We can just be hollering at him randomly, like, hey, hope you and your wife are well.
Oh my
so
gosh.
random. But like, I feel like that's where people would feel that. Where, for example, I have a friend who her dad left the mom, had kids with another babe, new wife or whatever, and then he quit his job. And then now he has 4 kids who my friend and her siblings, older siblings, have to pay school fees for. So like she's been trying to go to uni. She can't pay for her own uni because it's that thing of if I pay for mine, then these kids won't study. Is it okay for me to make that decision?
Yeah, that's
Because
tough.
it feels like disloyal, but in truth, it's your success. So it's that thing of being able to be okay to tell people, yeah, I see what you mean, and yes, I am successful, but also no, it's my money. I'm going to do what I want with it.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
True.
It's crazy hard, but I think that's where it comes in as it starts to
I
rain
think
in
you're going to
Nairobi.
hear the rain, yeah. Because I'm on the top floor, like it's kind of like,
It's okay. It's ambience.
yeah, vibes.
Ambiance.
Grab your hot chocolate or your tea or something and
I
enjoy the
already
vibe.
have my tea,
Hey, and it's coming.
my ginger tea. It's
Right?
wild. It's
Yeah.
wild. Okay, so then barrier number 3 is believing more success brings a bigger burden. So I can't expand to my highest potential because I'd be given an even bigger burden than I am now. It's that thing of more money, more problems. You know, it's like whatever it is, you can't have money or added success or whatever it is, and it doesn't come with like baggage. Like people believe that the baggage will increase as your success increases, which is not necessarily true. So, do you guys feel like more money, more problems?
Personally, for me, I don't, because I very much believe that I would rather be crying in my Lamborghini than crying in my fucking
Praise
Vitz.
the
You know
Lord.
what I
Hallelujah.
mean? Like, let's just be
Hallelujah.
very honest. Let's put
I'll
life
use
in
that
perspective.
$100 bill to wipe the tears. Bro.
100%.
This is like,
Be
These
like,
look,
don't
it's
have an
my,
these
accident.
eye bags will be designer. Okay?
Yeah. Be like, where's my Gucci handkerchief? Oh my God, I'm
it's
Exactly.
like that you're
tearing.
taking out of a maze, just being like, oh,
Exactly. I'll be
Yeah.
wiping my tears with my I'm just kidding. But like honestly, that's how
Red
I feel.
bottoms, you hold them
Like
to your face and then just cry to them. Be like, oh.
you know?
wild.
Yeah, but quite honestly, like it sounds, I know I make fun of it and I like whatever talk like that, but it's kind of true. Like I would rather have more money and have the problems that more money brings than to have no money and still have problems. Because let's just be honest, if we're broke, we have problems. If we're rich, we have problems.
True that.
But when you're
Yeah.
rich, you can pay away your problems. Praise the Lord.
Exactly.
Maybe not all of them, but yeah, you
Not
can
all.
soften
Not
the
all.
blow. Yeah.
I saw a guy
Exactly.
today on TikTok who was just like, when people tell you money can't buy happiness, they're lying. Because in order for you to be established or do anything or make change, you need to have the money. In order for you to be
Yeah.
able to be big enough to tell people, excuse me, let's save the forest, you need to be rich. When you're rich is when you'll be like, oh, I can do something about this. So when you're
Yeah,
trying
but
not
I
to
think
be rich,
I think
he
where the
says it
problem
makes a
comes, sorry.
difference.
Go ahead, Gathoni.
Now saying it makes a difference. That's all I was saying. It makes a difference
Oh, okay.
having money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem comes more with companionship and having that person to like share that, because I hear richness can be very lonely, because not everyone like understands the different kind of problems that you're hanging with. But I don't know, I've never been rich, but in my mind I'm like, as long as you're a good person and you'll still have like problems when you're rich. However, I didn't identify with this whatever
But
number
what you just
3,
said, doesn't
believing more
that fall
success.
into disloyalty? Where
What do
it's
you
like,
mean?
I feel like if I get rich, I'll be alone in this space. People won't understand.
No, I'm saying
So
like I'm saying more like when we're talking about it, like I feel like that's where people say money doesn't bring happiness. You know what I mean? How when people are like
It's from
money does not bring
companionship.
happiness, it's more from companionship and the surrounding yourself with positive people. Me, I know if I don't feel disloyal, because if I'm rich, then my whole family will be rich too. You know, we're coming in, we're going
Hallelujah.
together. So, and you guys are not going to disown me because of my riches. You'll get closer to me. I'm
Definitely
just
not.
kidding.
sorry, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing. I
Eh?
just sent you the link.
Just send. Let's go.
Hey, you
But
guys,
I feel
let
like
me tell
what you're
you.
saying, even as you're saying it, it feels like what he's talking about as a barrier. It's that thing of, if your brain believes when success happens, it will be a lonely journey. You know what I mean?
So
Hmm.
maybe that's
More
the bigger
success is more
burden.
of a burden. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More success is
Yeah.
a burden. It's like, I'll be disloyal, I'll be alone, no one will understand what's happening. But that's not true though, because if you check like rich people, if you check rich people, they have their squad with them. There's some people who
Yeah.
tell you can't take everyone with you, which is fine. It's something even when you're poor you'll realize,
Yeah.
right? You can't take everyone with you. But I feel like there's a guilt that comes with the success that makes you feel like no one will understand. But I mean, like, with all the changes that have happened in your life, you found new people. That really sounds crazy. You found new
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
in each space that have worked with the new change that you've happened. But for us guys, we've had the same friends for so long, but each of us has changed and we've continued to evolve together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these
Yeah.
people are mad successful, but it's not like I don't have a guilt of, oh no, now that my friend is an award winning director, I can't have, I feel like even in your success, you can always find people that would allow you to feel not
And
alone.
that's where having good people around you and being a good person comes, because I
Facts.
feel like me and you and Yam too, we're very good at, and I think this 100% stems from our parents, both of them.
Yeah.
They are very good at keeping their network, and they have ride or dies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, being good
They
friends.
have people who have been there my entire life. I'm sure for you guys, even your entire lives, there've been people in our parents' squads that are solid. You know what I mean? So
100%.
regardless of
Sure.
which phase of life you go through, those people are those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Goddamn, is it hurricane season?
I'm
What the hell
really
is going
wondering, like,
on?
I'm just telling you now, it feels like that train of KPLC, you know, where they're like, oh,
Don't
it's
say that.
time to.
You
Snip,
gotta cut
don't jinx,
it.
don't jinx us, don't
Cut
jinx
it.
us.
Cut it. Cut it. Shoo.
Hiya.
Cut it.
Ebo,
Hey.
Ebo, Ebo, let's go
Okay.
to who,
Barrier 4.
Nyam, did you describe
Oh,
your
yeah.
barrier 3?
Do you
Yeah,
feel like you have,
I don't think I identify with that being, with success being a burden.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Gathoni?
I don't know. And sometimes I'm like, maybe some of these things I was like, maybe it's the level of success. Maybe once I reach a certain pinnacle, then now I'll be like, oh, any more than this will be too much. But
But
based
you
on
know,
where I am, maybe
that was
too
a
sour, by
this
the way.
that was a discussion I was having with my therapist, and she was telling me that she doesn't think I will ever recognize that I am a successful person, which is kind of sad.
Wow.
Because she was telling me like I'm always chasing and I'm always like on to bigger and better, and I don't take as much time to be present So like life just continues. So when you think of success, like right now, I wouldn't consider myself a successful person, but like there's a lot of shit that she was telling me that I've done. I mean, the fact that I have a job means I'm successful. The fact that
Correct.
I don't know, like, but I don't see those things as successes, you know? So, but that's just a me
Forget
problem.
that.
That's a me problem.
No, I understand what you're saying because even for me, I guess it's that thing of what is success to you.
Yeah.
Because for me, what I'm accomplishing doesn't feel successful. So like last week, I had like a crisis where I was just like, okay, God forbid something happens. I was like, what is the thing that you have done that would prove, like how in Beyonce's song, she's like, I was here. I'm like, is there anything I have done currently in my life that would leave enough of a mark that would make people feel like I was here? You
Of
know what I
course,
mean?
Yeah,
of course,
that's
So,
what I
yes.
think of too. 100%
no,
Gathoni.
so for you, you'd say, of course, because like for you, you'd feel sad, but it's not at the level
No,
of
no,
like my
no.
friends, my family. I'm talking
Yeah.
about like, is there
What
anything that
impact?
is like, yeah, like, is there
Okay,
impact? Is there like
please, let
purpose
me
that
tell
has been?
you.
Wait, but I'm saying, like, I understand you're about to go on a rant, relax, but I'm just saying,
That's how we
it
feel.
feels like, yes, it feels like what I have accomplished is not yet successful.
Yes.
Hey, I
100%.
get it.
Yeah.
Now, you must demolish those barriers. Number one, Shiko, if you just count the number of students' lives you have impacted in the 5 years that you have been a teacher, it might not be on a scale of the largeness, but from one individual, one by one, you can start there as your level of success, whether it's in understanding culinary arts, just in general. Let's talk about the girls that you mentor through the dance coaching. Like that stuff is more impactful than just the education. Also, because you're
Yeah,
just
but
like
you
a
see,
cool
the thing
babe.
is, until I feel like I've reached the level of where like I was telling Christian this last week, and it sounds freaking crazy because we talk about dance all the time with me, and I'm like, it takes up so much of my time, and I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but you guys know, like
Yeah.
something that I've been processing in therapy and everything is just trying to free up space for myself. So they were like, maybe stop coaching dance. You still have your job. It's not like dance is giving you much like income or whatever it is. You can still keep your job and stop that portion of it. But I was telling him, like, in my position right now, I look at, do you guys watch Cheer or like, of the show on
I know the
Netflix?
Know
show.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The coach right there, or like Dance Moms, Abby Lee Miller. Like, if I'm
Yeah.
going to put myself in a position, I'm going to look at the ones who've gotten success and try and aim for that. And as soon as I have, until I have national whatever, a national win or a regional win or something like that, I don't feel like my job is done.
That is so interesting because that tells me your perspective is more around the accolade and the recognition.
No, it's not about the accolade or the recognition. It's the accolade and the recognition shows you that you're the top of what you want to be. And that's what I want, to be the top.
That is so interesting. So if you do not get those things, it will not be success for you.
There's still more to build.
Wow.
Like if I was a musical artist,
Yeah.
I would want to be nominated for a Grammy. Even if we know the Grammy system is shit, like,
Yeah.
until you're being...
Like I got into the system.
Exactly.
That is too interesting. Gathoni, now also for you, because you are the first community manager in podcasting in Africa, you don't think that has made an impact in all because it's not just in Kenya. I can count on maybe
True, but
more
you
than
see
two
now
hands. Wait, I gave you your time to talk shit about yourself. Now, like the conversations you're having, the change you're having in the different countries, not just in Kenya, yeah. Bringing people together, urging people to tell their stories, thinking about different ways people can tell their story. I mean, we're here on a podcast. You don't think that that's impact? Let's even talk about the people who are able to listen to this podcast with the feedback that we get based on the conversations we're having. That's not success.
I'm not saying it's not success. I'm just saying it's not yet success. Like there's
Hey,
levels to
sasa.
success. So
Uh-huh.
there's levels to success, and it's just like, yeah, you're doing well, but you can do so much better. Because in my head,
So,
all of the things that are possible, even in the
Yeah.
position that I am in, I am not reaching my full potential yet. And I can see what the potential is, and it's upsetting that I can't get to
Mm-hmm.
that level.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know what it is I need to do to get to that level, but it's just feeling like until I get there, okay? Until I can be in a space where I can be like, those guys in Ghana and the guys in Kenya came together and this thing happened because I played a role. You know what I mean? And there are
but
small
that's the
things like
case
that are
already.
happening. It doesn't feel like it's happening at the level. It's that thing for, yes, you know each other, but we have
When will
no,
it click?
there's nothing to show when there's something to show for it. Because right now there's nothing to show for it. There's a lot of titles and there's a lot of fluff, but it doesn't feel like there's anything tangible to show for it.
You don't think there's a community out of it?
I feel like there's a community
Connections,
with me,
networking.
so I am connecting people, but I want them to be able to connect to themselves. I want to be able to take myself out of it. And until I've created a space that can thrive on its own, that if I'm out of the equation, this system still flows, it's not been done
Hmm, that,
at all.
Mm-hmm.
wow,
So I need
okay.
to be able to take, like, if I can't take myself out and it continues to thrive, it's not been done. And right
Or
now,
just to bring another whatever, or if I remove myself from it and it doesn't work, I also know that I had success there. Because now that
right.
I'm not doing whatever it is, it's shutting down. It's not running as smoothly.
Oh, so for
For
you,
me, I want it to be
sustainability
able to run
is
on its
not
own.
okay.
Sustainability is cool, but also lack of sustainability would give me pleasure.
She could, it's me and my ego. Such a big
Teresa says,
ego.
if I live and it crashes, I have done a good job. Thank you.
Exactly.
No, I get that because like there's a job I had and there was such joy in my heart when I was like when I left they had to replace me with two people to do my job and I'm like yeah I'm that person. But when I was in
I
that
get
job I
it.
didn't feel successful. But when I left I'm like y'all better recognize.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so
But
but
to me for me I want
in
it to
that
be
role you are not
sustainable on its
feeling
own.
successful even then?
No, it didn't feel like success when it happened. It felt like success when I left because it's like now you can see that
What
I
I was
wasn't.
Wow.
doing.
Because you see, for me, it's that thing of, and that's why I'm saying I feel like I want to be able to see the impact. It's not what I think
Hmm.
because I know I'm great.
Hmm.
We have established that. I know I'm magnificent, but I need other people not necessarily to recognize me. I want to be able to see my magnificence spread
Hmm.
not to the point that it's me at the center. It's like, oh my God, she did the thing. No, no, I don't need to be the thing. I want to be able to stand somewhere and be able to look at everything happening and be like, my fingerprint is over there. I touch that there.
Hmm.
I touch that there. And this success in this space, based on how it has happened, would never have happened without those touch points. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily want the glory. Again, not for me, for the
Oh.
sustainability of it.
Oh, hallelujah. But basically, to close this chapter, what I'm saying is your fingerprints are already showing, both of you. I think it's your definition of what the success is that makes you not look at the thing that is happening now, going back to what Chico's therapist was saying, as success. And so aiming for the next thing, for the next thing, for the next thing. So it's like, okay, you haven't gotten a Grammy, but you have like a VMA, you have an AMA, you have a Soul Train Award. But now
Not
you're just like,
sultry.
girl, I have to show my age up in here, man. Some are BET awards, AMA, whatever. Yeah, but I get it, but at the same time I want to encourage you that the wins are there.
Yeah.
We hear you, but we reject you. Your
Shame on you.
findings.
You
Thank
can't
you.
reject me.
Um,
Nonsense.
barrier number 4. I didn't reject you. I rejected your findings. Barrier number
Okay,
4. The
I
crime of
accept.
outshining. Okay. The unconscious mantra of outshining goes like this. I must not expand to my full success, because if I did, I would outshine insert name here and make him or her look bad or feel bad. So they say this is mostly for like kids who are very gifted and talented, and then based on like how the attention happens when their parents are doing certain things. So like if I get more attention, like if I pass my exam and my sister doesn't, and then my sister gets in trouble for not doing as well as me, I minimize my shine so that she's not in as much trouble, basically.
That's
So
interesting.
the crime of outshining.
I think I have this syndrome. Symptoms.
You have this
Barrier.
She's like, I have a blood test that shows it is I.
I feel like
She
it's
is
so
the father.
redundant because like when you listen to what I just said about how I feel, about getting to the top and achieving the top and not feeling successful until I get there, I'm very cautious about how I do it because I don't want to step on people's toes on the way up, you know? So like, for instance, let's talk about my job real quick. In the school that I teach at, there's two of us who work there as culinary teachers. We teach one of the same classes. Hold on. The Instacart guy is delivering my groceries. So
It's
Cornelius
about
and
to go
Corona
wild.
are about to spaz. That's how my Sunday is going. I'm having my good groceries delivered because please. Anyway, she is an older teacher. She's more established in her teaching career because she's been teaching, she's in her 30th year now. So she's literally about to retire. She's in her 30th year. I was new to education when I came into this job. I feel like I have more experience in culinary arts, however, than she does. Because she's been an educator for 30 years. She went to college 30 years ago. And it was one of those when home ec became culinary. She stopped teaching home ec and started teaching culinary. So,
And there the
Cornelius
babies
and
on
Corona,
They said, who are
they
you?
don't give a fork what I have to
Wow,
do.
so cute. In season 2, you are trying to say four. Anyway.
Yeah. So, I feel
This
like
is how
I'm
you
more
guys get me in trouble with
experienced.
aunties. You see, because you guys always try and hide the thing. You mean it, but you're not gonna just say fuck. You see,
Oh my
that's the problem.
gosh.
Gosh,
Anyway,
Gathoni.
continue.
So, I feel like I definitely know more of our curriculum and can teach them more industry standard culinary arts. You know what I mean? Not just from the textbook.
Right.
Like we'll go over the textbook and we'll teach you stuff in there, but I'll teach you like real life if you wanted a job in a restaurant. Like these are the things that you need to focus on and these are the skills you actually need to have. And for my first 2-3 years of teaching, I followed her ways because not because I think she's better than me, but she had more experience in the teaching aspect of things. And then I've gotten to the place where she's taught me so much great stuff. Like I would not have the classroom management and like the classroom knowledge and how to run that actual part without her. She's helped me greatly. But I'm also allowed to be like, okay, this worked, but I can bring in something I know will work too. And it doesn't have to offend her. You know what I mean? Like me being like, hey, I like this activity, but I've been thinking about like changing it to do this, whatever. Me and her mostly, well, we collaborate well. We work together well. We don't have issues or whatever. It's just that I feel like I could do some stuff differently and better. And just having the balls to bring it up to her, like I'm changing this activity to this instead of this, which overall I feel like would make our program a little more successful. I had to wait 3 years because I wanted her to know the kind of person I am where I'm not just coming in and trying to change shit.
Change her things.
Like, I appreciate what you've done, but here, let me take over. You know what I mean?
True.
And I think it
That
worked
makes sense.
because she knew my character and knew who I was before I I switched to the flip on her.
Before you have shown her.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
so
I think that's the thing. It's not necessarily outshining. I think it's seeing it as outshining that makes it the guilt, like brings the guilt of it, makes it a barrier. It's you're not outshining the person, you're just doing it different. And it's not necessarily that her system is wrong because it has worked for 30 years.
it's outdated.
Mm.
It's outdated.
But it's just for you now, it needs to change, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's not outshining, it's not doing anything, it's just adjusting. And if you think about it that way, instead of I'm doing better and I'm taking over whatever it is, it takes away that feeling of outshine, because then you don't have to worry about how will this person take it, because your intentions are absolutely clean and pure. So you're not trying to like do better than the person. It's just in this space based on my knowledge here, because I was educated in this space and I have worked in kitchens and this is how the system works. This is the adjustment that needs to be made. So
Yeah, but I also
if the
don't
person
think
takes it as outshining,
I also don't think I needed to have waited that long.
Correct.
You know what
this
I mean?
is now
Very
what I was
true.
getting
Very
at.
That's
true.
where the outshining comes in.
I don't know what's happened to your tongue today, but you are right.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
Heavy, yeah, no, but it's true. So I think the thing about the outshining is it's not necessarily outshine. It's not wanting the other person to feel or look bad. That's what I meant by it.
True,
Because you're
but it's
considering
based
their
on my
feelings.
feeling. Yeah, but it's me who thinks they're like, I feel like I'm outtraining them, but in truth, if you think about it, you're not outtraining them.
So it's the thought
And I
process that
think
needs to
that's,
change.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
thought process that needs to change, where it's just like, I'm not trying to take over your job or whatever it is.
That's fair.
It's just
That makes
in this
sense.
space, this works better. So it's not because I came up with the idea that it's better, it's that in this space, this works better. Now,
Yeah.
if you want to take it as I was trying to outshine you, you know whose problem that is? Not mine, because
It's
that's not my
perspective.
barrier, it's yours.
It's
Yeah.
just
And so it's one of the,
perspective.
yeah, so then you just have to determine for yourself what your barriers are, or recognize them, and then now change or adjust based on that. So if, like, for example, in this situation, Chico was like, I feel like I was outshining her, she needs to call herself to a meeting and be like, what is it about this process that made me feel like I had to wait 3 years, you know,
In order
in
to
order for this to happen, even though I knew it would make it more successful for both of us. Like,
True.
that becomes the conversation
The
you need to have with
question.
yourself. Yeah, because you're trying to
Interesting.
be in
that's a
your
lot to
zone of
think.
excellence, and you should be in your zone of genius.
Yeah.
Correct. So the thing for me about this crime of outshining, I think when he was describing it, he was also talking about sometimes you will dim your shine, but then there are other times that you will shine and then make yourself appear not to enjoy it for this, like with the same whatever. That thing triggered in me like some, those church traumas of humility and so so for me, this one, I was like, this is the other thing I can identify with. And I think one of it, like I've mentioned, is like that thing of being humble, being meek, not being
The humble
like,
shall get the kingdom
just
of
to be
heaven.
like, yeah, when someone is like, hey, you really did a good job or whatever, then you're like, yeah, it's just God,
Have you guys seen the Burna Boy Trevor Noah interview?
No.
Yeah, it's interesting how so Trevor Noah is interviewing Burna Boy, and I'm just gonna misquote it, but whatever. Trevor is pretty much saying the difference with Nigerians and the rest of the African countries is even Trevor, with all his success, if someone asks him how he's doing or whatever it is, he's just like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm just
it's that Kikuyu thing,
pushing by,
I'm
but
just
Nigeria
trying.
is just like, I made $1 million.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's
So, it's true. So it's
Yeah.
one of the things that I felt triggers that is that like Christian upbringing of just be humble, everything. And yes, still for the glory of God, all glory to him, credited to him. But also I'm intelligent and great at what I do. Now, the other thing I
Period.
think that
Also, because none of
kind
these
of
people were quiet, you're humble. Stop reading the Bible.
Jesus
Stop
was
reading the Bible.
surrounded
I'm
by
so glad you should come
outspoken
to my
people.
castle and
If
speak
it
to
was
me.
like,
Because
I'm
most
so
of it,
sexy, you should leave your husband.
you're gonna leave him? Okay, I'll kill him for you. You're gonna leave him? Welcome. Oh wow. I'm like, where is this humility in the Bible?
oh my
Ruth
god.
here was not humble either. She was like, I got you, Shori. She went and got a man drunk. I mean, like, there's no where?
Yeah.
Who's
So
humble?
yeah, that is the first
Coach.
one. The other thing I think is just like maybe work culture. And maybe, I don't know if it's only in small organizations, but I think in general, there's this like whole collaborative, we're a family type of approach of things. I want to say, especially in like SMEs in Kenya, I've had like various conversations with so many people. But then
What are enemies?
there's small and medium enterprises. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so not like a massive business or whatever. So if you have like a lean team and, everybody's kind of relying on one another for the success of their department or for things to go well, there's this idea that, okay, in as much as everybody's playing their part, my success is everyone's success. You get? So it kind of now makes you feel like, even when someone is like, oh, you really put together a great event. And for sure, I did everything from start to finish.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, oh, thank you so much for the support team. And, the team was helpful in XYZ. When it comes down to it, that's really my win. But then you feel that pressure to be like, yeah, it's everybody, we all pulled together, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think as well, I would say also like a woman thing. Yeah. So you don't, hey, I've been in so many like boardrooms and like just in the workspace, a man will come, and I think there's plenty of studies around this as well. Even I will like read a job description and I will not meet the criteria of like 3 things. And I'll be like, oh, I guess maybe I don't fit this role necessarily. A guy will fit 2 items of a list of 11
And
and
send
be
that
like,
application.
I'm applying, and even like it's the not stuttering, things like negotiation, and there's various studies on all of this information. But I think those are some of the things that kind of make you, even when you're shining, not want to dim the shine so that other people are not, saying. So this is, I guess, one of those barriers that I'm aware I have had, but it's also something that I've been working on, to be like, actually, I'm the baddest.
Exactly.
And
have you started looking at women who
true.
are at the top, like CEOs and
exactly.
everything? And you're like, that's how you know these women are powerful. Because just to get to that level in the world that we live in, those women have done the damn thing. You know what I mean?
True.
But it's also that they're there being paid zero in comparison to the men at that level, even though they say, like what Nyam is saying, a woman will only apply for a job when she's fully qualified, which already makes you overqualified. So this is me of like for CEOs, because
I've
it
never
also
had it
becomes this
said
thing of
like that.
so you're overqualified for what it is you're coming for. You're going to be paid less for what it is. But then as a woman also, because you need or feel like, because we've been taught this thing of, we have fought so much of like, in order to keep this space, I must prove. So you end up doing so much more work than what it is that you're actually being paid for. Whereas you always have that guy in the office who does, when I say
Jack shit.
bare minimum, and then is like that person who's like BFFs with the bosses, and then will declare, "Oh my God, guys, I sent an email," and then expects us to all applaud. You know what I mean? And that. And that time as babes, you're just there sitting on burnout, just being like, Jesus, I still have to send. It's like we're
Yeah.
celebrating one email, I sent 50, But I think that's also in that thing called shining. I think I hadn't thought about myself in that space, but I think that's where it is. where when they tell you as women, list down the things you've done and you think you've accomplished, because then you're able to go back into the space and be like, I did this, 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 and this. I deserve money because you couldn't
Mm-hmm.
have done this, this, and this without me. And it took like my boss being like, this is how you have to do it. And she was like, I understand how hard it is for a woman, but if it's the last thing we do,
We gotta do
like
it.
this has to be done. Because then if you're able to do it, if we're taught to do it in our generation, that's how we'll teach our daughters. We'll be like, unandika list, write the list, walk up and be like, listen, I
This is
want a
how it
meeting.
is.
I have
Yeah.
done, like, be that obnoxious man that irritates you and celebrate yourself writing an email. When he's like, I wrote an email, you should be like, actually, Tim, I didn't think I had said I'm done with what my thing was for this week, but I sent 5 emails. And be like, step up and be my nigga. Yeah.
I like how email is the
Yeah,
example.
email is the SI unit.
No, because like for real, I'm just trying to explain how bad like the things they celebrate. It's like I made a phone call, and you're just like,
I know
are we
what you mean.
seriously acting like that
Yeah.
phone call did anything? Whereas in that same amount of time, I have gotten 5 people to sign this, 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 gotten this number of partnerships, gotten this, and I'm just like, but I'm not being celebrated, but we are celebrating you.
Yep.
But then it's also realizing that it's because myself, I won't say anything also. So how are they going to celebrate me if I'm not going to tell them what I've done? You know, but it's completely working against everything that is innately you. Call it church trauma, call it being a woman, call it everything, where you're just like, because even when you speak up as babes, it's my therapist was saying how there's once when she worked in like corporate, she went to a board meeting, and when the board started being like, I don't know what, all the men kept quiet, and she was like, actually, no, we had a meeting and we agreed. And all of them were just like, what? Even the board being like, who's this woman speaking? You know,
You gotta
but
say it.
But how do you learn how to say it? You know, that's the thing. It's so much easier to just be like, you gotta say it. But then when it comes time, I'll say it next week. It's actually hard.
Don't touch your nini on your ear. Every
But it
time you
fell.
do it,
It
we
fell,
hear
sorry.
it.
Sorry,
Okay.
it fell.
Hiya.
Yeah. So I think that, for me, at the end of the day, I was like, the thing about this shining is I'm going to shine and I will also appear to enjoy it. Yeah, it's no more humility, Nini.
No pretending.
When you see, you see. Yeah.
No more pretending.
Amen. So now they say the thing about upper limit work is that it doesn't take much time to spot where the problem is coming from. So now that we've explained to you your barriers, you're able to be more aware of what it is you're doing in every situation. So like if you've been having a great time and suddenly something happens, you can call yourself committee and be like, okay, where did the change happen and which barrier did I trigger? And then work towards working away from it. So let's say if you had triggered the feeling of outshining, just be like, did I actually outshine or was this what's happening? And then get yourself back on track. Because the idea, like Nyam had mentioned before, is to get into the zone of genius where it's the space where you're doing work, but you're not actually doing work because it's so innately who you are that it stops being like work. So you're not in your zone of excellence where they say your zone of excellence is where you do things really well and people give you your accolades and everything and you like being in that space because it's also comfortable because you know what you're doing versus now being in your zone of being
We
in
have
your
a
zone of
visitor.
genius.
I can see.
Hi Maria.
Hi, Rishi.
Hi, Karosh. Okay, bye.
Yeah, so being in that zone that allows you to not be afraid of failure but go like head first into what it is you believe you are and everything. Yeah.
It has a lot to do with
Yeah.
how you view yourself and self-esteem too.
It does.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome.
In a nutshell, we all deal
It's
with it.
it's that
Different
voice in your
levels.
head. Yeah. And now for parents, it is important again because clearly the only thing we have learned is 0 to 18 is when this madness happens.
Yeah.
So take time to teach your children these things as well when they are young so that they're able to learn okay, what is it that I'm doing? Figure out like
Mm.
when you're talking to your kids, are you making them feel some type of way about like, I'm afraid to outshine my brother or sister based on how you're reacting to like their success and things like that? Are you making them feel like they need to adjust? Those are things you have to be aware of, not
Those are
only for
important.
yourself, but for your kids as well.
Those are
True.
very important.
And especially for girls.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the theme, I think we're going to be releasing this when it's still in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which happens like every year. But I feel like, I think this year the theme is around uniting activism. No, not activism. I think it's around women and girls. So I'm just like, the thing we're talking about in terms of this not being able to speak up because your girl was taught, to just cower,
quiet.
or, this is not her place to speak up, or,
Yeah.
whatever those little things are happening, they don't start when we're in the workplace. It's subliminal messaging that happens all around us. So especially for girls, I think in your parenting,
It's
mufikiria hapo
definitely
kidogo.
important.
Yeah.
Hiya. The book is called what for those of them who want to read it?
It's called The Big Leap. There's also a second book called The Zone of Genius, but start with The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. It's you can find it anywhere you get books. There's an audio version as well if you're those guys for listening.
I was
And
that
he
guy.
also has a
Super.
podcast. You're that guy. He
Yeah.
also has a podcast that basically breaks down different versions of the book as well. It's called The Big Leap if you'd rather go that way first before you decide what you're going to do with the book.
Thanks, Gathoni, for leading us. And I'm gonna give you
Jawelks.
more work. Where can they find us?
You can find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at OKKiasi. That is OKAYKIASI on all platforms. You can also email us. Actually, guys have been really writing us emails. Thanks. You can write to us at okkiasi@gmail.com. Send us good vibes. Send us your thoughts on the podcast. If you think anything, like if there's something you have questions, follow up, whatever it is, we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And as always, I am Shiko.
I'm Nyam.
And I'm Gathoni.
This has been OK Kiasi. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Guys,
Bye.
Bye.
bye.